What is up, Star Wars fans? This is Darth Watson. In this video, we're going to be reviewing Andor Season 2, and this does contain potential spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Andor Season 2 or Season 1 yet, or the series in general, or Rogue One, a Star Wars story even. For anybody who hasn't had the chance to watch Andor or Season 2 yet, just a fair warning, but enough jibber jabber, let's get on to the topic. So Andor season 2 would have to be even more interesting than the first season, just like the leaks were suggesting well before Andor season 2 started premiering on Disney Plus. And it was more serious, and there was a lot of surprises that hit me, like Dedra Miro ending up in prison on Narkina 5, and other things that took me by surprise is that Cyril Khan got a redemption, and Cyril Khan thought he was doing the right thing the entire time and was trying to get into the Empire and the ISB's good graces, even dating Dedra, but realizing what he's done in season 2, with especially with the Gorman massacre that's been happening in season 2 and what's been happening on Gorman, and Mon Mothma was out there defending Gorman, but Cyril Khan realized what was happening on Gorman, and that's what triggered his redemption and turning against the Empire, and then eventually also confronting Cassian Andor. Well, that was something that I saw was going to happen, is that eventually Cyril Khan is going to confront Cassian Andor for killing 3 of his men and wanting justice, and he just wants to be in the Empire's good graces because he wanted justice for 3 of his men that got killed by Cassian Andor in season 1. So, but what I didn't see coming is that Cyril Khan ends up getting killed by a blaster. Cyril Khan got a redemption and turned against the Empire. That's something that I didn't see happening, and I didn't think that Cyril Khan was going to get a redemption at all. I was surprised that we didn't see Palpatine or Vader, but now it makes sense to keep the Sith Lords out of Andor season 2 and save them for something bigger, for something bigger, but leave them out of Andor season 1, season 2 would probably make the most sense now. Like, I didn't see it at first. I thought Palpatine would be able to be in Andor season 2 because of the politics that's heavily involved in Star Wars and Coruscant and the Imperial Senate. I had a feeling that Palpatine would make a cameo, but it looks like that we didn't see Palpatine. We also did not see Tarkin as well. They probably took Tarkin out of Andor season 2 because of the lawsuits, because there was a leak that we would see a cameo of Tarkin in Andor season 2, but that was obviously taken out of Andor season 2 because of the lawsuits with the CGI route they did with Rogue One, a Star Wars story, how they went the CGI route for Tarkin, and that actor who portrays Tarkin and his family was suing Lucasfilm for that. So that's probably the reason why we didn't end up seeing Tarkin in season 2 of Andor, and Tarkin ended up being cut out of Andor season 2. But we did get to see director Krennic, and we get to see some surprises as well as a lot of things that I was expecting for it to be much more serious than the first season. And I would have to say, even though Mandalorian season 1 and season 2 was the best of Disney Star Wars, but I would also have to say that Andor is definitely the best of Disney Star Wars alongside The Mandalorian season 1 and season 2. I think that Andor season 1 and season 2 is the probably the best of Disney Star Wars as far as shows go that lead up into Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and Rogue One, a Star Wars story is my most favorite of Disney Star Wars. That's what a lot of you like to call Star Wars made under Disney when you don't like what Disney does is deem it as Disney Star Wars, but Disney Star Wars, George Lucas's Star Wars, when George Lucas made the original saga, including working on the Clone Wars with Dave Filoni. For me, I'm a fan of all Star Wars, both Disney and what George Lucas did. Even though Disney isn't going exactly on the same path as what George Lucas had originally intended for Star Wars, I still enjoy it. I still enjoy watching Andor. I still enjoy watching The Mandalorian. And I can't wait for the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu that's gonna be coming out in about a year from now. So probably few days less than a year from now, we're gonna see uh the Mandalorian and Grogu hit theaters, and I'm definitely going to watch it on opening night, and I'm definitely gonna pre-order my ticket when it comes times for the Mandalorian and Grogu, and getting ready for the Mandalorian and Grogu to come out. But Andor Season 2, leading up to the events of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and it really changed my view of how I view Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And I view Andor Season 1, Season 2, and Rogue One, a Star Wars story, leading up into the events of A New Hope, setting up A New Hope, and how they get the Death Star plans, but also how where Mon Mothma came from, how she used to be a politician in the Imperial Senate, and why Mon Mothma left. And then we also see Bail Organa, which I don't like the fact that we get to see a recast of Bail Organa in season 2 of Andor. I like the original actor better for Bail Organa, especially like the actor who portrayed Bail Organa in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story and the prequel trilogy. But Ba- Bail Organa, I didn't like the recast of Bail Organa in season 2 of Andor. But other than that, season 2 was a little bit better than the first. The first was pretty good, and I like how politics was really involved in Andor season 1 and season 2. Even though I'm not really into the real life politics, I liked how it was a big part of season 1 and season 2 of Andor, and how basically it's basically a reflection on how the real world works and the difference between a democracy and a dictatorship. And the prequel trilogy completely shows how our democracy turns into a dictatorship. And we get to see under the dictator of Palpatine, where Palpatine is evil and fascist and a dictator, and Mon Mothma as a politician. We see Mon Mothma defending the Gormans constantly in season 2, speaking for the Gormans, and Mon Mothma, and we see some ISB investigations like I've been talking about in my past videos before Andor season 2. We see some ISB investigations about Mon Mothma, how she's being investigated by the ISB, and eventually, like, because they were gonna get Mon Mothma anyways, whether she spoke out in the Senate or not. But she spoke out in the Senate. She escaped before the Empire could capture her for speaking out against Palpatine, because under a dictatorship you can't say certain things. But anyways, like Andor season 2 was in season 1, and Andor as a whole is really great, and I really enjoyed watching Andor. But anyways, that's my review for season 2 of Andor. Let me know what you guys think of Andor season 2 down in the comment section down below, and I will catch you all later in another video.